Daniel Warren Johnson concludes his cosmic odyssey as Beta Ray Bill confronts Surtur in Muspelheim, viciously fighting the fire demon for the power of the Twilight sword, so he can finally be made whole again. Daniel Warren Johnson completes his Beta Ray Bill story on a bittersweet note, bringing everything we have seen over the previous 4 issues to a head in an explosive and violent battle that covered the entire issue. I love the continued theme of identity and being one's true self here, with Bill saying he's fighting for his people and their world, but in reality, he's doing it for himself so he can feel better and feel whole again. The thing here though is that it's not done in some sort of attempt at vanity or anything with a malicious intent. He thinks that he isn't whole, and this is what will make him whole, so it's kind of a noble cause he is fighting for. What I found surprising was Daniel again added a twist to the story in that yes, Bill got what he wanted, but it didn't change anything for him. There was an utterly fantastic scene at the end of the book where it sort of had a parallel to the movie Hook, which was actually playing on the page as the scene unfolded, with the children in the movie recognizing Peter Pan again. The idea being that Bill was always the same no matter how he looked, and only at the end did he realize that. It was fantastic and bittersweet. Daniel also continues as his own artist, again making my hopes that next year he earns himself an Eisner, if not for writing, then for his artwork. He captures the brutality of super beings like Bill and Surtur fighting one another wonderfully, not to mention his just stunning double page spreads that continue to capture just the utter scale of everything that's happening around Bill and Scourge and Pip and Scott. Beta Ray Bill issue 5 was probably the most perfect ending as one could ask for, wonderfully wrapping up Bill's latest personal adventure in utterly beautiful artwork and a message I think we could all learn from. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Beta Ray Bill issue 5 sees Surtur confront Bill, saying that the Twilight Sword has deemed him unworthy of its power since his defeat by the Asgardians. He knows this is why Cinder rules Muspelheim in his stead, and he has been trapped in this part of the realm, waiting for a warrior to prove his worth against. Bill says that the demon destroyed his whole planet and his people as Surtur proclaims Twilight is wise and beautiful and demands a tribute. The two warriors race at each other, but Surtur's size wins the day, allowing him to pummel Bill high into the air, where he comes crashing down into a building. Bill calls Surtur a coward, asking how can he prove himself to the sword by fighting him at his size, wanting them to both fight like mortals. The cocky demon agrees, shrinking in size to confront Bill on equal footing. The two beings viciously pummel one another as Scourge and Pip find Scott, having been freed from the tentacles. Scott tells them that Bill is fighting Surtur as Pip races to help his friend. Scott says that she needs Scourge's help, having an idea that only works with him. Bill meanwhile continues to fist fight the fire demon, blocking Surtur's blows, but the demon knees him in the face, blowing up the landscape as Scott and Scourge set up some turbine generators on the deck of Scuttlebutt, generators that will harness the power of the shockwaves Bill and Surtur's battle is outputting, knowing this is the only way to charge the ship's batteries. Bill and Surtur's battle rages as Surtur says that he is a fool who has come to the hell of gods. He grabs Bill, breaking his arm before punching him down, telling him that he's way out of his depth. The resulting shockwaves give off enough power to fire up Scott's batteries to 90%. Surtur wonders if the injured hero feels familiar now as Pip attacks, blasting the demon with his pulse rifle. Surtur turns his attention to the troll, slicing his hand through the being's stomach. Pip knows that he won't be dying alone, unlike Surtur. He activates his teleporter, disappearing and leaving his explosive-covered vest on Surtur's arm. The bombs blow up, destroying the demon's arm as Pip is taken back to the Scuttlebutt. Bill confronts the injured Surtur, saying that he has destroyed worlds and killed families, and this is for all of them. He launches himself off the building they are on, slamming Surtur into a hell spike below, impaling the demon. Surtur, however, grows back to his original size, saying that he is done with these games and the being has angered him, so sword or no sword, he is ending this. Scourge says that they are running out of time as Scott knows that they have just enough power. She begins to transform, telling Scourge that she needed his skills as she transforms into a giant cannon. Scourge tearfully thanks Scott, but the robot tells him to just shoot the fire demon. Scourge fires the cannon and it rips through Surtur, taking him down. Bill sees the Twilight sword amongst the flames, taking the sword as his own. Surtur laughs, knowing that the sword actually agrees with Bill as the hero cuts off the fire demon's head. Bill says that this was for his home as he is changed back into his normal appearance, knowing that this part was for him as well. Later on, Pip is given medical attention, but Scott knows that he'll need a new lung, and luckily she's crafting him one now, so she thinks he'll make a full recovery. Scourge isn't surprised since he's a troll and he's got some thick hide, and he was never worried. Scott says that all her remaining power is going into his recovery, so she isn't sure how they're going to get out of Muspelheim. Suddenly, the Valkyries of Valhalla arrive, saying that they are there for Scourge since his mission is complete. The Valkyries pull Scuttlebutt out of hell and back into space, and Scourge says he's sorry that he is leaving Bill, but Bill thanks his friend, knowing he was an incredible companion. Scourge reminds him that he was also his wingman as well, and Bill says he'll never forget that. The Valkyries say that they will leave Bill and Scott to get home on their own, as Scourge knows that this is it, wanting Bill to watch over Pip for him. He says goodbye to his brother as he mounts the Valkyrie's horse, taking off into the cosmos and back to Valhalla. Later on, Bill sits quietly as the movie Hook plays on his TV, watching over Twilight as Scott comes to join him, touching his hand before leaning on his shoulder. Later on, Bill goes to see Pip, who soon awakens from his injuries, learning that thanks to his help, they were able to do it and they beat Surtur. Pip is happy for his friend since he got what he wanted and he is whole again. Bill, however, isn't so sure, telling Pip that he is right, but upon looking at himself in the window, he still sees his horse-faced visage.